And welcome back to the Red Crew. It's your boy Chesco. I am here with CE. I am here with Isaiah. And I am here with Luis. And we are here to give you another episode of the Red Crew. Boys, I got good news for you.
I like good news. What's good news?
I met our first fan.
You
Really?
met?
Yeah.
How did you
Where?
I was at a Starbucks.
meet?
Yeah.
Was it your mom?
No, man. I saw a random person.
How did
Stupid.
it come up to you?
They're like, hey, are you from the podcast? They're like, I was like, no.
Which one?
I said no. I don't know why. I just said no.
You choked.
Yeah, I was like,
You choked under the pressure of greatness.
yeah, it's the first time being famous in my life. And I was like, oh yeah. What up? And he's like really knew a lot of the episodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did he say anything about favorite characters, least favorite
it
characters?
was definitely me.
Okay. Least favorite.
What was the description on this human being?
Yeah.
I don't want to say nerdy looking.
Like age wise?
Age, I would say early 20s, or maybe even late teens.
Okay.
Where were you? Like
Starbucks.
Where? Like in each.
I don't know how to explain it. Starbucks in a chair.
What part of Houston were you in?
That's what I.
Oh,
said.
here. It was on Bellway 8 and Harwin.
Bellway and Harvard. Okay.
Yeah, it was on Bellway 8 and Harwin.
Did you ask him how you heard about us?
Well, he said from the podcast.
No, how he heard about the podcast?
I'm guessing YouTube.
So you didn't ask him.
No, I didn't ask him. I don't ask dumb questions.
Well, it matters. Is it word of mouth or is it just from generation?
Fine.
I think
Remember-
being up at like 3 a.m.
Exactly. That's a good point. No, not only that, it's like
Makes a difference.
you gotta act like you've been there.
Yeah.
Remember? Because
Right.
I think that's how you figured out our podcast, right? You saw us on TikTok, I think.
Yeah, I saw you on TikTok live.
Yeah, so we're on live on TikTok.
That was a while ago. It's
Yeah.
before we got taken down.
Oh yeah, we got kicked out.
I don't even know him for like a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you trying to do?
I was trying to watch the UFC fights.
Of
and, I
course.
had him.
So, and
I know that guy.
Yeah.
and yeah, I was on there, and oh yeah, so the guy knew a lot. Like he knew you.
Yeah.
He says he likes ET. He says he likes me. He says he likes UFC. He likes that we talk about UFC. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was
You
pretty
get his
cool.
name?
No, because he's a little person. I'm famous. So famous people don't
Did
care.
you invite him on the podcast?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I was with my girl, so I was like,
Hey, what did she think? Say, hey, they know you
no,
here.
she was like, that's crazy. She got like a little scared. Yeah, she was like
It's
that's
like, man, I didn't know you were that famous.
She's like, now I know you're not cheating on me.
All those nights.
yeah.
The lonely nights.
Yeah, so I was like, it didn't go how I expected it to go. I expected to feel a little better.
Did you want him to ask for your autograph?
No, I wouldn't have given it to him. No, I expected him like, oh, I love you guys, and so here's $500,000.
Oh, at least, right? But
Yeah.
let me buy you a drink.
Yeah, it's like let me fund the project. No, it wasn't done like that. It was a little underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Honestly, shout out to you, but man, you could be a better fan. Like I'm just saying, like next time you can like bring me like
Some equipment.
yeah, like bring
So
me.
if you ever
some-
see us out in public, at least if we're at a restaurant, like buy us something, at least.
yes, like come on, we gotta.
And then make us feel a little bit more important because
We're not.
at least more important than that guy made you feel.
Exactly, yeah. Like honestly, by the end of this video, I hope we have 1 subscriber less. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. I do not.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nah, that was pretty cool. It was pretty funny. No, but like, for real, it was there for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And honestly, no lie, I was like, I didn't know how to be like, all right. I didn't know, like, you know.
Boundaries.
You let the fame get to your head, huh?
Huh?
You let the fame get to your head.
Yeah, I was like, all right, go, because my niece was there.
Oh.
So-
you don't bring family into the
I was
podcast.
like, yeah, and I don't make sure. I make sure that nobody knows my family. You know, like this random dude is. But he said he liked that we make fun of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then we make fun of everybody.
Including him.
Exactly. That's why. Yeah, you're on the list now, brother. He said that we're not sensitive to anything like military
No,
or. He said we respect nothing.
And by that, we respect everything.
Yes, and by we treat everybody the
We do
same.
not discriminate.
Everybody deserves to get made fun of. Yeah, it's like, but yeah, that was a pretty cool thing. So, what did y'all do?
I'm still steadily moving out of my apartment.
Yeah, you're gonna have to speed that up, man. You've been like, honestly, I'm with the movers now. Like, is it?
It's completely empty.
Oh, okay, so you're done.
I go tomorrow to have it.
Oh, so you're not done. See,
cleaned.
that was saying.
I don't have to do shit.
The menopause that we're going through right now. It's crazy.
The heat flashes of emotions.
Yeah, the flashes of emotions.
It's just getting cleaned tomorrow. It's all out of the apartment. I don't have to do a damn thing.
I hate when people come and tell me. Every time I live in an apartment, after some time, they come and tell me to pay more rent or else I gotta go.
Yeah, every renter does that.
I don't appreciate this.
I wish Houston had rent control.
Say it again.
I wish Houston had rent control.
What is rent control?
Rent control is something they have in New York where they can't raise your rent more than a certain percentage.
They do. They can't go up more than a certain amount.
Well, I wish the rent control was lower. In New York, they
Luis,
have
before you go on,
apartments.
can you turn the screen so we know when it's time? Please, can you be useful? Gee, so I wish I would have asked our fan's name.
I literally just asked you if you asked his name. You said no. That's below you.
I didn't ask it. That's why I said I wish I would have asked it.
I don't think I'm in frame.
I think you're in frame.
Actually, I know I'm not in frame.
You're in frame.
We're going to have our
All right.
first presidential debate on September 10th.
Now you're too much in frame.
Mic's on or mic's off?
Mics are on.
Mic's off.
Say it again.
When they're not talking,
Yeah. So they are gonna have mics off.
Yeah.
Is this for like final?
Yeah, it just posted.
Okay, what does that mean? What are we talking about here?
So there was a big debate on the debate
Yeah.
on whether when the person wasn't speaking, if the other person's mic was gonna be off. So if you're
Candidates-
speaking, then our mics would be off, and if I'm
Candidates
speaking,
cannot
yours.
bring notes or cheat sheets.
Well, how are you
Oh,
gonna
wow.
fact check? Well, how's Kamala gonna fact check?
That's where they're gonna get her. Let's see.
You can't. Trump got the advantage there.
Harris would not agree to the Fox News debate on September 4th. Interesting. Donald Trump posted that on Twitter. Or X or whatever the
I
hell
thought
you
he had
call it
Truth
now.
Social.
How do we fact check that?
I don't know. Ask Donald Trump.
We do gotta fact check everything. Huh?
Yeah, we got fans now. Have them fact check it for us.
If you're watching, go fact check.
Shout out, shout out. Okay, so we got a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things to talk about.
Do we?
Yeah.
What do we got to talk about?
Okay, so this is what I wanted to bring up from our fan, right? He did ask me. Cause I think he insulted us a little bit.
Hey, he's already part of the crew, man.
Yeah. He was like, I remember he's like, it's cool that the podcast is so chill, and cause he says it's not the production, it's just that it's really chill. What's the secret? He asked me, and I was like, I don't know.
Secret to what?
To being so chill?
I guess so.
Weed. No.
It is not weed. And so I didn't know.
So what is the secret to being chill?
What is?
I
the
think
secret?
part of it is not caring.
It's also a group of friends.
I think that's the secret, honestly, cause y'all care too much.
I literally said not caring.
No, but y'all do care. For example, right now we gotta do an episode. I can't say it yet, but I can't joke on it. That's crazy. Like, honestly.
Oh, because there's certain things you should be serious about.
Like what?
9/11.
Hey, okay, you could be serious, but there's.
I think you can joke about 9/11.
It's too early.
I don't think so.
Isn't that your
I
birthday?
think you can joke about 9/11.
I'm telling you,
But I think
never
that
forget.
an episode dedicated to the memorial of
That's what I
9/11 is
want.
not that episode to be joking about 9/11.
Exactly.
But I said people gotta define what a joke is. When,
Okay, there's a lot
if
of
you tell the truth
morons out there.
and the truth happens to be funny, is it a joke?
Is the truth a fact or an opinion?
Yeah.
A fact.
Okay.
What kind of fact?
Because you said something, and we can say it on this podcast because we're not. This is not the podcast to be serious,
Oh
right?
yeah, we were doing a wrestling show, and we were talking about Chris Benoit. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, the guy that killed his family?
Yes. We were trying to condemn what he did, but appreciate his in-ring work. And he got on his, I don't know what he said, but it was not what we were
No, okay, I can say what I said. I'm not tripping on it. My question was, I didn't say what he did wasn't wrong. It was clearly wrong. My question was just like, what type of wife was she?
Yeah.
Did she deserve it?
Like, I'm saying I don't know, maybe. Like, I don't know. It don't matter if she deserved it.
What would make it a deserving situation?
Oh, let me tell you this. Okay. Let's bring up this scenario. Okay. If you walk in, and what's her name?
By the way, let's preface this, but we do not condone.
No, what he did was wrong. No matter what she did.
What he did. We do not condone spousal abuse.
No,
both male to female and female to
and
male.
don't lie, this was way beyond spousal abuse. Okay, no, what he did was wrong. No matter what she did, that is not what we're talking about here. But two wrongs can exist, right?
But you said, did she deserve it?
Okay, I'm saying.
What do you mean by deserve it, though?
I'll tell you this. I'm sorry, and I'm going to put this out there for everybody. Everybody. Kids, men, girls, women, wives, moms, husbands, dads. Everybody deserves to be hit. Just don't do it. Okay? When your girl is annoying you, and you're watching a game or watching a fight, and she starts asking dumbass questions like, what's the score, when it's right there? Does she deserve to, like, take a slap to the head? Yeah. Now, don't do it. Okay?
Did you
But
ever
she
watch a movie with
deserves
your
it.
girl? It's the first time for both of you guys watching it, and she's asking questions about it, like
Yes,
you already seen it?
all the fucking time.
Okay, your girl deserves to be at least insulted at that moment. Do you do it? You don't do it.
Absolutely not.
Okay?
No.
So, yes, there's a few things. There's people, like, when they're doing dumb things walking down the stairs, they may deserve a nudge. Just don't do it. There's a lot of things that you deserve and then people don't do to you. Okay? By me saying, does she deserve it, does not mean that he should have done it.
But, so what is a deserving situation for being unalived?
If, for example, he traveled a lot.
He did, yeah.
What if one day he came home early and she didn't expect him and she's having a rendezvous with a few of his friends? You gonna tell me she don't deserve it at that point? He still shouldn't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say
he shouldn't do it.
Unless what she was doing was murdering somebody else. I don't think she deserved it.
What? No, I'm sorry. I think the worst thing a woman could do is have a kid with somebody else while she's with you.
I don't think that's a corporal punishment worth
Oh,
it.
I think it is. Now, you shouldn't do it, but she's the devil. That's the devilish thing
But
to
you
do.
say you keep saying I think those are not facts. Those are opinions.
Well, I'm saying, do we agree? Do we disagree?
I'm specifically talking
Okay,
about...
we all agree that you shouldn't do it, right?
Yes.
Okay? Now, do we all agree that it's a deserving, like, you deserve to be punished extremely?
Extreme, yes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying at that point. See? People act like I'm the devil. I'm not the devil.
That's the way you said it.
What did I say?
Like, and I agree with you. Like, there's sometimes, like this one's right now. This is a perfect platform for us to joke or to.
It's not a
this
joke.
type of,
it's a fact.
Or to have this type of conversations. A podcast where we're discussing the memorializing the service and the deaths of 9/11 is not the time to be joking.
I was not joking.
You said, "Well, there's two. Did you really need both of them?"
Am I wrong, Isaiah? We had 2 huge towers. One was enough. We didn't need to have 2. Like, I'm just now. That does not make fun of anybody that died.
We're talking
that
about
does
it.
not make. That doesn't mean that
You're condoning one going down.
I am not
we didn't
condoning
need, we didn't need the other one. We already had one.
I am not condoning anything.
Do you think there were people that were fired the day before it happened?
Oh, that's true.
Hey, there's a lot of conspiracies behind all that. Bullshit.
See, look at that. That's more insulting than not needing two of them.
Well, but this is the podcast to do it in.
No, but I'm not saying anything insensitive. What I'm saying is not insensitive. People receive it.
What I'm
insensitive.
saying is not insensitive either. It's
Oh,
just
it absolutely
fact
is.
that they're out there.
No, it's just like, for example, what I've never said that a lot of idiots say out there of the Sandy Hook thing.
I've seen that shit too.
That I'm sorry, you cannot say that's a conspiracy. That's ridiculous to say.
I agree.
Why would that be a conspiracy?
I'm not getting.
I
into that.
don't think it's a conspiracy, so I can't.
I'm saying, even if you think it's a conspiracy, you gotta keep your mouth shut at some things. Okay?
There's just certain things you just don't voice your opinion. You should.
Oh no, I voice my opinion on everything.
That's it.
Yeah, everything. Now, you gotta be very careful. You gotta look at it from a different angle. Like, okay, for example, I wanted to bring this up. This is touchy for some people, but
We're gonna do it anyway.
I don't think it's the way he says it. It's like he hates women. If you take the tone away from it, it has some sort of merit. It has some sort of sense.
Who is it?
I don't really know his name, to be honest with you. But he just says it so aggressively, then you take the message the wrong way. If he would have said it with a different tone, I think a lot of us would agree. Now, listen to this.
So many fucking guys get in a relationship with a and they forget their friends and they hang out with their girl all day. That's the worst thing you can do. If anything, you need to hang out with those guys more. Keep you fucking sharp. Give your girl some of the time. Don't live with that fucking because you need to stay sharp and iron sharpens iron. Anytime you live with a fucking girl, she's gonna because women are inherently lazy creatures. They're not designed to create excess resource to become excellent. They're designed to create children. So with that said, they have different mindsets. So when you live with your girl all the time, she's gonna say stupid shit. Let's have ice cream. Let's go do this. She's gonna make you she's gonna make you soft. So you need to be around other guys who are gonna say, no, let's go to the gym. Let's go train. Need to work more hours, blah, blah, blah. Because when you live with your girl, she's gonna incentivize you to be fucking lazy. And you need to have a really strong mindset to tell her no. So a lot of times it's just better to not surround yourself with her because women are just soft. They're lazy, bro. There's so many fucking guys getting in a
So
relationship with a
he says it
That
with such
sounds
a
like-
he says it with such an angry tone that you're like, nah, that makes no sense. If I come to you and I'm like, you know what, you probably shouldn't hang with your girl all the time because that can change your mindset. That can change the way you approach life. You still got to make sure you have that kind of somebody pushing you, somebody telling you the truth, that little bit of ruggedness to you, and you got to make sure you balance that. I don't think if I come in and tell you that, you think that's a crazy thing to say.
Absolutely not. But that's not at all what he said.
He's
demeaning women in what he was saying.
Yes, because he calls them lazy.
But I agree with what he's saying, and I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
When it comes to when you get in a relationship, excuse me, when you get into a relationship, you start hanging out with the guys more. Do I think that when you're in a relationship, you start hanging out with the guys? You should
Start hanging out with the guys less.
Yeah, you start hanging out with the guys less. Do I think that when you're
Is he okay?
when you get into a relationship, that you start hanging out with the guys more? No, I don't think so. I think you should keep hanging out with the guys. I don't think you should hanging out with them less. I think inherently that's just going to happen because you're sharing your time with 2 different people or 3 different people or a group of people.
What? You confused me.
Meaning, if you have kids, you're dividing your
Oh, we have
time.
kids now?
I got kids.
No, I think he's talking about a girlfriend. That's how
I was talking about like in general
Yeah.
over time.
But
But-
over
No,
time,
obviously, if it's your wife, is different. But like, if
Okay.
it's your girl, because that's what he said, your girl.
But inherently, right? Inherently, you're dividing your time between 2 people now, right? Let's say,
Why 2 people?
like say me and you and my girl. I'm no longer just hanging out with you.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I'm no longer just hanging out with you. Now I'm hanging out with my girl. So inherently, I'm dividing my time in 2.
Yes.
So it's inevitable that you're going to be hanging out with the guys less when you have a girlfriend.
Okay, but what I'm saying, when you take it in his tone, yes, he says some things that aren't true, and that he's just trying to stick that knife in, right? So when he calls the girl,
it's to be.
Here's my question. You think women make you lazy?
yes, I
I
do.
think so, yeah.
Yes,
I don't think so.
I completely
I-
believe that. Yes,
I don't think that every girl makes you lazy. I think that if you're with the right girl, she's gonna push you to do the things that you need to do in order to get shit done.
What is the right girl?
Well, I think it also depends the type of guy you are. Like if
Exactly.
you're
That too,
if you're a
see?
bum, then you're not gonna want to do anything.
No, it's that laziness. You gotta fight laziness. And what is laziness to you? Like if
You don't want to know mine.
no, but to me it's like if you have to choose between going to the movies or let's say coming here and us trying to create content. People would say, "Oh, that's not laziness. Spending time with my girl." I think that's where some of us may look at it as laziness, because we're choosing not to invest or not to work or not to create, to hang out, and that's where that lazy. Even though you're still doing
It's a
something,
different kind of
it's a
laziness.
different kind of lazy. Yes, I think women make you lazy now, because yes, if there's women that because I'm telling you, I don't think most girls don't tell you, "Hey, stop hanging out with me. Go do that." They don't do that.
My wife does that.
Okay, see, you got one, but I don't have one. I'm telling you, and I've never had one where my girl's like, "Hey, stop hanging out with me and go over there." Right? They don't do that. So if you have the girl that tells you, "Hey, okay, we can't hang out because you gotta go do something productive," then yeah, but that's not the case most of the time.
Right, that's the exception, not the rule.
Exactly.
Here's an example. My sister. You're going to hear me talk about my sister a lot. My sister's lazy. And it's a different, like, she takes lazy to a whole new extreme. She says, okay, so she's still married to her husband, but she's with another guy, and he's with another female, whatever.
That's multitasking. I don't know how that's lazy.
That's not laziness at all.
That defeats the whole, what we just fucking listened to, right? Her being lazy made him lazy.
No, if you look at it,
No.
your sister is making her ex work harder
No.
because he has to pay her and him. So,
He doesn't pay her anything.
well, he
'Cause
should.
they're not divorced. They're
They're
just
not divorced.
they're just
Oh.
separated.
So the thing is, her being lazy makes the new boyfriend more lazy.
But I'm trying to differentiate lazy. Yeah, some people think that's lazy. Oh, let's stay at home all day.
That's me.
Huh? Okay, well, yeah, that's one type of lazy. Another type of lazy is like,
But
oh, let's go to the park.
I have medical conditions that I don't want to go outside.
That's my point. But the for example, is like, okay, let's go to the park and do nothing.
But I think you define lazy as being unproductive.
Absolutely.
That's how you define lazy. I think some people define lazy as not doing anything. Because you can go to the park. Going to the park is doing something.
No, it's not.
But it's not productive.
It's not. No. Going to the park is doing nothing.
If
You're doing nothing outside of the home.
If you're sitting at the park and you're doing something like creating content at the park, that's different. If you're sitting there and you're just looking at the sunset, you're like, who the fuck does that? Like, you know.
I want to bring this up. You're Colombian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if your mom talks about this because I've never been to Uruguay. Or your mom's from Uruguay or your dad's from Uruguay?
That
I don't know if your dad's ever talked about this because I've never been to Uruguay. My mom says that where she's from has the best sunset in the world. Like, and my answer is like, okay, does the sun only set over there? Like, is it always day here? The sun sets everywhere if you ask me, right?
Right.
The only difference is that over there, since you ain't got nothing to do at 6 o'clock,
That's the best thing to do.
you sit down and you watch the sunset. Over here, at 6 o'clock, you're tired from working all damn day. You just work. You just want to get home and get a nice meal. The last thing you're looking at is the sun. You put on sunglasses
So
as
I
much as
have a
possible.
different
So
perspective.
that's my point.
I have a different
You love the
perspective
sunset?
than that. No. So when I was on deployment in the middle of the ocean, the sun was going down as I was coming to work. So, you know, I hate sunsets now because I used to see them all the fucking time.
That's because that's on the
ocean.
other side of the world as Colombia. That's why it's the worst sunset.
But that's why, going back to his point, if he would have delivered it better, I think we would agree with most of it. Because I'm sorry, but it's a fact that, like, I'm not saying you don't have to work on your relationship. You absolutely do. And to spend time, I don't want to say unproductively, but it's part of it. You have to go out and, like, I like to go out to just have a dinner on a Sunday night.
See, that's unproductive.
But I set that aside, though. I'm like, okay, Sunday is the day where I can be unproductive. Sunday, but I got to make sure that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm making up for that lost time. So that's the way I look at it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this for that. So that if he would have said, like, of course, spend time with your girl. I don't think anybody says don't spend time with your girl. But what we said, going back to what makes this podcast is, I think, is that we are all friends. We come here and we have fun. Like, we're not just here and be like, oh, we have to do this. We come here, we hang out, we talk. We go out to eat a lot of times after. We chill. I think it's good that once a month or twice a month we go out, we get some wings, or we go out and we get some. It's to hang out. It's not all podcasts. It's not all quote unquote business or whatever.
But we talk shop too, though, when we're there.
Yeah, and of course you can use it for brainstorming. You're like, oh, this will be cool, that will be cool. But if we're at home with we spend majority of our time with our girls. We just do. It's a fact. I don't know a guy that spends more time with their homies than when they're girls. I just don't know one.
I agree.
And then when you exaggerate that, it can become a problem. I believe so. I believe so.
I think the exaggeration of anything can become a problem.
But for example, there could be positives in some exaggeration where you just gotta bring it back a little bit. Working out could be one. Some people exaggerate too much. Yeah, you gotta dial it back a little bit. But the more you work out, it's necessarily not gonna be, like, say if you work out 70% of your time, it's not necessarily a negative.
Absolutely not.
Okay, if you're like, say if you're doing research, like say if you're a scientist or a doctor, and if you do that 74% of your time, that's not necessarily a negative. If you do it 100% of the time, probably a negative. I think if you spend 70% of the time with your girl, it's a negative.
But so one, that's an opinion, and two, I think it's based on happiness, right?
Oh, but who agrees, who disagrees? If you spend 70% of time with your girl,
I think if you spend a lot of time with a human being, it comes well.
Exactly. And I'll tell you this. If you would have spent 70% of the time with your boys, would be a negative too. But that just never happens, right? But, like, yeah, I think what Isaiah said is true. If you spend 70%, I think that's a negative. Do you disagree?
No, I don't. Look, that goes back to my statement of anything you do too much of can be a negative. You eat too much bread, that's a negative. You drink too much water, that's a negative. All those things, anything you do too much of, it's a negative or can become a negative.
But again, we're putting, let's say 70% is the number, right? Like, say if you train 70% of your time, do you think that's a negative?
It can be.
It can be if I'm not training smart.
Yeah, if you're not training smart. Now, I don't see the positive of spending 70% of time with your girl. I just don't see it.
Hey, some people get into business together like that.
Oh, that will be different.
Yeah, because now you're being productive.
That's your business
You're being
partner.
productive,
What
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying
Yeah,
is,
but
like,
just spending 70%, I don't see the negative. I don't see the positive. Like, especially your girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Especially your girlfriend. Now, if y'all live together, you have a family, you have a kid, different. Obviously different. If it's your girl that you've been with 2, 3, 4, 5 years, that you're not married or nothing like that, you don't have kids, you don't have any real commitment yet, I think, yeah, there's no positives. No positives.
I agree.
I don't.
I got, okay, before I got married, before I joined the military, like, by myself, I would get so much shit done. So much shit. Like, I'm not doing much now because of my condition, but, like, I could go out, wash the car, wash the dog, you know, because, you know, I had pets. I could get everything done that I wanted to get done. And when I started dating again, it was like, oh, you can't get nothing done because you're spending too much time here. I've been a part of that.
But it doesn't make you lazy for spending time with her. And again, it all depends on how you define lazy. Because his definition of lazy might not be your definition of lazy.
It's not a lazy. It's
unproductive.
You get
and I agree. If we were to change the word lazy to unproductive, I would agree with everything you're saying.
For example, like watching TV is a great example. If I leave my home at 9 in the morning and I don't get back home till 9 p.m., and that entire time I've been productive in some type of way, and I'm like, hey, let's go to Cane's or let's go to Cheddar's. Let's go any place just to spend an hour and a half, and then come back and watch a movie. Now we just spent 4 hours doing nothing, but that 4 hours we got to talk, we got to be close to each other, we got to work on a relationship. I don't find that as an unproductive waste of time. Now, if I wake up on a Saturday morning at 10 in the morning, he's like, hey, let's go have breakfast. Okay, we'll go have breakfast. Let's come back. Hey, let's go shopping. Let's go to the mall. and we come back at 4. Like, hey, let's go have lunch. Like, let's go have lunch. And then we come back. Hey, let's watch a movie.
That's the whole day of doing nothing.
It's the whole damn day. To me, that's unproductive. Like, what did you gain from it?
Okay.
I don't see it. And a lot of people is like, oh, I dedicated the day. I'm like, yeah, if you do that every now and then, no problem. If you do that 4, 5, 6, 7 times a month, I'm sorry. I think that's a problem. Again, if you have kids, if you have a wife, different. I even think that may be a little excessive, but different. But I that's where I mean that's where that balance has to come, and I find it ironic. What is the best type of relationship, right? Tell me if you disagree with. Stop me whenever you disagree. Where both individuals are strong, right?
Absolutely.
That's the best relationship. How do you become a strong individual? You work on yourself.
Yeah.
And to work on yourself, yeah, a lot of work has to be done. Productivity has to be done. You get into a relationship, being in a strong relationship is you should be strong, she should be strong. Then you get in the relationship and you start working on yourself, and you start wasting.
But it happens.
It happens, absolutely.
100% of the time.
It absolutely happens, and that's what I mean. It's like there has to be a conscious effort to make sure that it doesn't happen.
But okay, so in my marriage, right? We have time to work on ourselves. We have time to work on each other together, like, work on us, while also having time to balance, making sure our kids are okay. You know what I mean? You have to put aside that time. Will you always have the same amount of time? No. Some days it may be less. Some months it may be hella less, depending on what you're doing. Like with this, I come Tuesdays, I come Saturdays. And then starting this weekend, I won't be home on Fridays, Thursdays, Fridays, or Saturdays. It just depends. But you have to plan it. You can't just say, hey, let's spend a whole day doing nothing. In my opinion, I sit at home, but I'll be writing down ideas, or I'll be, while my wife is taking care of the kids, I'll be writing down ideas or writing in my journal for my fucking therapist.
Okay, so it's not a bad debate to have. Why do you disagree with me?
Remind me of your point.
That, like Isaiah said, if you spend 70% of your time working, like say for a fight, if you do it negatively, if you don't do it smart, yeah, it's negative. But if you do it smart, it might be a positive. I don't see a positive of spending 70% of the time of your girl. I don't see it like in any way. What? And you said that you disagree. Why do you disagree?
It's controversial because the probabilities of you spending 70% of the time with your significant other are so low that
You think it's low?
I do think it's low.
Why?
Why? Okay, let's talk about it. Are we talking about in a day? Are we talking about in a week? Are we talking about in a month?
What's your routine? Like, if we look at our routine, our girls are involved in a lot of it.
And I agree, but I think they're so. Okay, and now we're counting sleep. Are we counting? Like, there's so many things that we have to take into consideration in order for us to say 70% of the time.
Okay,
because,
if we sleep with our girls, that's 8 hours of the day.
That's 33% already.
Already.
And that's what I was saying. Like, are we counting those things into it? Because technically, those aren't productive and lazy things to do.
And again, the way I think is like of the option, the time of what you're choosing is what I'm counting. Like I'm saying, I don't spend the time with my girl when I'm at work. Well, no shit, you ain't got no choice. Right. I don't spend time when I'm at school. Well, no shit, you ain't got no choice.
So the other 8 hours of the day,
if it's 2 hours, whatever time you have, which a lot of people have a lot of time.
Free time.
Okay,
that's what he means.
Like anybody, I don't spend time with my girl during my commute. Like, no shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, when you are choosing what to do at that moment, I think it's close to 70% for a lot of us.
Okay, so if you're taking out the sleep and you're taking out the commute to work and you're taking out the actual work, that ends up being around 6 hours. Let's say top 6 hours, right?
So now let's 6 times 7. How much is that?
Okay. Well, let's just do 6 hours in one day right now, right?
42 hours.
But then you get home, you still have to go through your routine of changing, putting on everything else. The first thing I do when I get home is I start making dinner. Is my girl around? Of course she's around. Am I spending time with her? Is that considered a? Because now we get into semantics, right?
Yeah, I would say that's considered. Because again, right there we're making a choice, right?
Okay, so the choice to eat, right? Instead of going out.
The choice to are we? Because we're probably not living together, or if we're already living together as boyfriend and girlfriend.
In this situation, let's say we are.
Okay, that's a choice, right? So you're choosing to be with her more time. Is what I mean.
Because you chose to live together.
Yeah, again, we're not talking about a wife. We're not talking about somebody you have a family with. It's somebody. It's a girlfriend.
Okay.
Nothing more than a girlfriend. Yes, like right there, you're making a choice. Fine. So I think even at that point, you can still. I think at that point you can still be not hit the 70% mark. It gets a little harder, but I think you can still do it if you make a conscious effort.
I think otherwise. I think it's easier if you're living together to spend that 70% of the time together.
I mean. Yes. I think you can still. Yeah, absolutely. It's easier to spend the 70%.
So that's one.
But you can still not do it if you make a conscious effort not to. Most of us don't make that conscious, because I've been victim of it. I'm not placing blame at all, because I've been victim of it, and I've started to make because when I was younger, I was 18, and like my first real girlfriend, I noticed that I started into this stupid routine that every day I had to be with her, and I would leave work. This is honestly no joke. This is how I started watching Grey's Anatomy and One Tree Hill and all those dumbass shows. I was doing my internship for the recording studio I was working at.
Yeah.
And I would go in at 12 and I would leave like at 2 in the morning. And we would always go to a restaurant called Diner 59 and then go watch Netflix. Mm-hmm. I would do that every day. That's unproductive to do. And I should not have done that.
So there's always two sides to the coin, right? Yeah. There's situations where you're doing that, and I do agree. 70% of doing that is not okay. You should do less of that. But if I get home and I'm living with my girl, and the first thing I do is I change. I go start making dinner. I start prepping for the next day. I work on a video. I'll have dinner, and then I watch a TV show. Then after that, I go and I start getting ready for bed. I get in bed, and while I'm in bed, I'll watch TV with my girl here with me, and then I'll be playing on my phone at the same time that I'm watching TV, or I'll be scheduling the TikToks or the YouTube shorts for the next day. I go what? So
I'll tell you this. I'll answer that because I have a similar one, right? I think if my girl's around for all that, I think it's a negative. If she's around for everything, I do think it's a negative.
But if you're living together, it's inevitable.
What do you mean?
If you're living together, it's inevitable for her not to be around for all that. That's why I said
multiply by 7. That's what he said. If we do that...
42 hours.
If we do the 42 hours that we have free time, if we spend... What's 70% of 42? If we spent that amount of time together, I think...
That's like 28 hours.
70% of...
28 to 30 hours, yeah.
What's 42 you said?
Well, no.
42, the half of 42 is 24, right?
That's what I said.
Well, no, it's not 24.
It would be 30-something
You said 48 or 42?
It would be 30-something hours.
At 30-something hours, I do think that's a negative. I do, because...
So are we differentiating the time we're around them versus the time we're spending with them?
If we're around them, we're with them. What do you mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're living together, you're going to be around them every single time.
And that's why I said there has to be a conscious effort to create that 40%. There has to be a conscious effort. If you don't make
the only way in this situation to get away from them is to literally get away from them.
Yes.
So even if I do a night with the boys, that's 2, 3, 4 hours. That doesn't get me to the 30% that I'm.
No, and that's where I think you shouldn't just. It shouldn't just be with the boys. There should be time for yourself. Get out the house. Go find something to do, or she should do the same thing. Like for example, if you go do with the boys, right? That's 4 or 5 hours. Mm-hmm. She goes with her girls. That's 4 or 5 hours. Right. She goes and works out for 2 or 3 hours. You go work out for 2 or 3 hours. You go see your mom for 2 hours. She goes right there. We're at 20 hours there. And that's what I mean. It's like, it's not that hard if you make the conscious effort. Nobody's saying it's like, hey, I'm just leaving, so I'm not going to talk to you. If you go live your life on your own, doing simple things, you create the time. Like I said, if you go spend one night with the boys, that's 4 or 5 hours, right? Her, 4 or 5 hours. We're at 10 there.
So let's break it down again, okay? Because we said it was what, 7 hours?
42. It's 7 hours a
7
day,
hours.
42 hours a week.
So 42 hours a week, right? So
What? And again, so I'm bad at math. So you sleep 8. Let's say we sleep 8. That's what they say.
I think it's
I think nobody sleeps 8 hours, but
I only sleep 3.
I sleep about 5. But you want to say 8?
usually it's 8,
Okay, let's say 8 hours.
A normal
and then 8 hours of
person.
work.
I don't think normal people sleep 8 hours. I think a normal person sleeps like 6.
Not according to my fucking...
Let's call it 8.
Psychologist.
Right?
Okay,
Let's call it
8
8.
hours.
8, and then another 8 for
Work.
For work, that's 16.
Yeah,
Let's say a 30-minute there, 30-minute back to
Say
work.
an hour commute.
That's an hour
That's
commute.
17.
So that leaves you 7 hours, right?
7 hours, yes.
No. You said 17 hours. There's only 24 hours in a day,
No,
guys.
no. 8 hours at work, 8 hours
of
at
sleep.
home,
16.
1 hour of
17
commute.
hours.
So that leaves you with 7 hours.
That leaves you with 7 hours.
Okay. I got confused. Never mind.
Okay.
User error.
So let's say it is 7 hours. 7 hours times 7. 7 times 7 is 40.
49.
49. Okay. So in order for you to be at
20.
20%?
No. For you to spend 20 hours out of those 40, what was it? 40?
49.
Let's say 50 hours.
20 hours? I think it's easily doable if you put the conscious effort. To be 20 hours away from your work.
Okay.
But how do you... Okay, so...
Let's actually break it down, right? Because we have to be away from them while still being productive, right? Because we still got shit we got to do. We still got to go do groceries. We still got to go take care of things we might need to do around the house.
Example, like a lot of couples go do groceries together. You could probably take that time and be like, you go do that, I go do this.
But you could also do those things together, spend time with each other.
You're spending a shitload of time.
I mean,
That's what I mean.
but it is possible to spend time and be productive. Can we agree?
No, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But it's like, my point is what you're not understanding is that we created a norm.
No,
We create a norm.
I agree with you.
Yes.
I agree with you. I'm just saying that 70% is going to be a lot harder. If you're not living together, it's easy to do. I think it's easy to do 50%.
If you don't live together and you spend 70% of the time with your girl, you're in a dangerous situation.
I agree. I agree.
No,
but if you're living together, it's so hard for you not to spend 70% of the time together.
I don't think so.
I do.
I really don't. I think, like, if you make a conscious effort to work on yourself, because I don't think people realize, and it's moronic to me. It's really moronic to me. People see the divorce rate going up, and make no changes. Be like, hey, it won't happen to me. And it's like, what did they do different? Nothing. The same dumbass shit you did. Like, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, we get used to doing everything with our girls. I've been victim of it. I go grocery shopping. She comes with me. I go buy shoes. She comes with me. She's get invited to a party. We got invited to a party.
Right.
I got invited to a dinner. We got invited to a dinner.
See, that's the problem I don't have. So, I'm not going to say it on the podcast because I don't know if she watches. But,
A certain
my wife.
individual, call
my
her ex.
sister-in-law.
Oh, okay.
I thought you said you weren't going to say it.
Well, I decided against it. I don't agree with some things, and they're having a mixed gender baby shower. I
Okay.
don't have to go because she knows how I feel about that person. Like, there's certain things that she could go to that I don't have to go to.
But I think that's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
No, but some people act like we're freaking demons for doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like if my girl gets invited to a dinner, if I don't go, I'm like, oh, she has to go by herself, and then she's gonna feel bad. What the hell?
Exactly. Like,
No, I think that's perfectly fine.
there's a stigma out there where we have to do these
Yes.
things.
I agree.
And don't understand why. Like, and I will never understand why. Like, it's like the concept. Honestly, some people have the concept. Like, there's some couples that you talk to them, they've been together for 10 years. They haven't gone on a vacation by themselves in 10 years.
Vacation.
That's like when we were talking
That's
about
a foreign concept to them.
when we were doing this planning of the trip that was either going to be in March or whenever, she's like, I don't care. You can go. You know, she's going to do one by herself. Or not by herself, but probably with family.
No, yeah, it's like I'm saying that's
It's
healthy.
doable.
But we get into a point where, like, but I am not wrong when I say it.
We
like,
are frowned upon.
She got invited to a dinner. That means we got invited to a dinner.
Look, I don't disagree with those things.
We get
All I'm disagreeing with is if you guys live together with the practicality, with the... I'm trying to
the
think of
only
the
way
word.
you're gonna really, if you're living with someone, right? The only real way that you're gonna be able to spend time apart while living with someone, not 70% of the time, is if you have a separate room where you do your own work, an office.
I think that's healthy too. Like I think that's healthy. No, I think like saying for
It's
example,
doable, but also at the same time, it's hard. It's complex.
no,
but even by his definition, if you're around that person, look, 'cause I work on the videos and I get into a zone, I'll be there for an hour to 2 hours.
Do you talk to your girl while you're doing it?
No, I'm working on my thing. But she's in the living room watching TV.
That's how I-
Or
I'm
she's
not
in the
gonna-
living
That's
room doing
different
her
rooms.
thing. No, but I'm
Are
in the
y'all-
dining room, living room. I can talk to her. If she asks me a question, I'm gonna
no,
answer.
I've had this fight with her like 100 times. Cause I sit with the laptop. She's right there. I'm right here. She's watching. She loves that dumbass reality challenge show, and I hate it. So I sit here, and I'm here for 2 hours.
You got headphones on?
No, I don't have headphones on. But sometimes I do when I'm like editing the sound or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm here for 2 hours. And then when we get up, she's like, "Oh, so we're not gonna spend time together." I was just here for 2 hours. I didn't say a word to you, but I was here. And she says that doesn't count. To me, that counts. I'm sorry.
He counts as being together. I don't count that as being together.
I do.
Okay.
So, and by that definition,
You know what? I'll
hold
give
on.
you a perfect example.
on.
Why? Go ahead.
If you're not doing something together, and you're in the same
Thank
room,
you. I agree with that.
if you're not doing something together, you're doing things separately on the other side of the room. you're
Or
not
even
spending
the same.
time-
Or even
I
the
think
same
you are.
room.
You
That's
know
what I
what?
said. If you're sitting on the other side of the room,
Okay, you know
hold
what?
on, I'm not finished.
Okay, go ahead.
Finish. Gosh, so
Pointless
rude.
anyway.
If you're sitting on the other side of the room and y'all are doing two completely different things, you're not spending time together, so it doesn't count.
I think it counts. You know why? I think the
You
most.
see, whatever you say, it wouldn't
know.
matter because
No, and I think you're gonna agree with me. I think you are. I think the most important part of not being together, the reason you want more than 70%, and it's a huge important part of the relationship, is to miss each other. That helps you stay in that relationship so damn much. To miss each other. If I'm sitting with you for 2 hours not saying a damn thing, I'm sorry. Yeah, we didn't do nothing productive, but I am missing you.
I
either.
have a negative.
Tell me that missing each other is not a huge part of being.
absolutely.
And if I'm with you for 2-3 hours in the same room, I'm not gonna miss you.
Okay,
But okay, if I can,
go ahead.
are we counting just your feelings, or are we taking her feelings into consideration too?
You think she'll miss me if I'm sitting next to her for 2 hours?
She literally just
No,
made the
she
comment.
won't,
Are we
yes.
going to spend time together? She literally just made the comment.
She ain't gonna miss me though. It's like she says confused as I.
She's misses your attention.
yeah,
if
that, but
she's-
not me.
But
It's,
that's part of you.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
It's
though.
the idea.
It's not the
of
same
the
thing.
Intention.
Yeah, it's not the same thing though. Yeah, she probably isn't satisfied with the time spent. Neither am I. And like I said,
But you didn't do anything different.
Huh?
You didn't do anything different. If you're not satisfied in that time you guys spent together, you still chose to spend time doing your own individual thing. And I think that's where he comes in. And he says, if you're doing something that is not together, even if you're in the same room, even if you're right next to each other, whatever the situation is, if you're not doing an activity together, that's not time is being spent
yes,
together.
it is. Presence matters. Being there is part of the. Being there is half the battle. Like honestly, if you're doing anything,
Strongly disagree with
no,
that.
if you're doing anything in life, showing up is half the battle. Like if you're doing anything in life,
I can be in a room with you guys and still be alone.
I think
Alone together.
yeah, that's okay. That's an oxymoron. No.
You don't. You
I
don't
says,
get it.
what's your input in this?
I agree
No,
with.
hold on. I wasn't finished.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll ask you in a second.
Hey, you gotta finish fast.
I could sit here in a room full of people and be alone. Okay? If I'm in a room with my wife and I'm doing something, she's doing something, I don't think we're spending time together. One, because we're not doing it together. Two, I don't feel like the attention's paid.
I think most sane minds would agree with you.
Yeah.
I
I
disagree.
say
What do
it's-
you think?
I agree with like Luis and them, just because like most I guess couples, if they're living together, most of them are working Monday through Friday. Maybe let's just say that.
If they're living together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably off on Saturday, Sunday. Let's say both of them are working a 9 to 5 job, right? You come home on Monday through Friday, and you maybe we're sitting together watching TV. Maybe I'm doing stuff on my laptop, but we're watching TV together. I'm not mentally checked in us hanging out, even though you're there. You're watching the TV.
Even though you're saying
you're
something
asking
with
about
hygiene.
each other's day.
It makes more sense for me.
You're asking about each other's day because that's the human thing to do, is make sure everything's good. But like, you're still like worrying. Oh, what happened at work today? What's gonna happen tomorrow? What I gotta do to get ready?
You're planning your own individual stuff.
Whether it's Saturday, you don't gotta worry about work the next day, Sunday, unless you have a job on Saturday, Sunday. So you have that time to whether you want to go to the grocery stores with your wife or significant other. You have time when you're driving there. What do you guys got to get? Or you could just talk about life in general. What plans do y'all have? And I think so. I'm saying that because I think those hours maybe after work, like that time between watching TV or like eating, I don't think you can really count those.
And I'll point something you just said. He just said wife or significant other. To me, those aren't the same things.
Hey, you have stated that. Look, I think everything here comes down to to definitions. Like
To definitions. And again, I'll give you an example between me and Luis. Me and Luis went to San Francisco. I don't think Luis and I spent that much time together. There was
I think you're making our point, but go on.
No, here's my point. I think we were still sick of each other at the end. Like, I remember going to the...
Wait. Because you said we didn't spend a lot of time together, but we literally spent every waking second other than sleeping together.
No, that's not true. What I mean... but here's what I mean. Using your example. I remember in San Francisco when we went to that stupid-ass brunch place. And what I mean of just being there... Like, I remember I put my headphones on.
Yeah.
I didn't speak to him for an hour. I was not mad at him by any means.
No, of course, yeah.
Yeah, it was just I was just there. And I remember...
But we were spending time together.
I don't think... like.
See? Thank you. You're agreeing with me.
No,
and what you're saying...
I still think we're sick of each other.
But it has to do with other things.
No, because you know what? We didn't even fly on the same damn... Like, we didn't sit next to each other next to the plane.
No, I think so.
We didn't... On the way there, on the way back. We didn't sleep in the same... It wasn't a hotel room. So it's not like we were in the bed next to each other. We had our own individual rooms. Like, what I mean is this... Just being around each other and not saying much got us sick of each other. And... Because we just wanted we wanted to get back to our girls, probably. We wanted to get back to our routine. I think presence does matter. That's my point. That, like, for example, I don't think we spent, for example, me and E.T. spent a lot of time together. Because it was a hotel room. So we were next to each other.
There's a difference.
Our privacy was in the restroom. We didn't have that problem.
I agree. Presence is not the same thing as time together. And that's where I
disagree.
That's where I am saying that the definitions matter.
You can be there, but you're not there.
Is there a difference between presence and like engagement? Yes, but I still do think it counts as time together. Like, yes, if that's all you do, there's a problem.
Look, this is an opinion-based argument. You're gonna have your opinions. I'm gonna have my opinions. They're gonna have their opinions. So. What's right to you is right to you, but what's right to me is not gonna always be right to you.
No, yeah, but it comes
versa.
down at the end of the day. It all comes down to when do you work on yourself.
And I think that's a better question. If you're spending, how much time should you be spending on yourself? And how do you
half the time? I think
half the time of what?
Of your free time.
But that's when we start. That's when we start getting to definitions, because free time to you is different than free time to me. Free time, I don't see me making dinner as free time. I don't see me having dinner as free time. I don't see me getting ready for dinner, getting for bed as free time.
Again, remember, this started as boyfriend-girlfriend.
Correct.
For example, if there's 7 days in a week, 3 or 4, I don't think we should have dinner together.
Look, let's say girls. Let's say girls out of the equation, right? Because if we're just talking about spending time, about working on ourselves, right? I got home today, and the only thing I've done productively was come here. Because
That's his problem.
No, but what did I do when I got home? The first thing I did when I got home was I changed, I made dinner, I had dinner, and I came over here.
You ate by yourself?
Hey, by myself, because I was home.
I was trying to give the
we
man,
don't live together.
Look, the
Her and I
entire
don't live
conversation I've been trying to give the man credit,
Mm-hmm.
and I started by saying this, that the woman is the reason you're not unproductive. If you're unproductive on your own, yeah, we can't blame her at that
But
time.
I don't count. I was saying unproductive by your standards.
Yeah.
I don't count me making dinner as unproductive. I don't count me eating dinner as unproductive.
You count it as productive?
I count it as a necessity. If it's a necessity,
Exactly. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm sleeping. I'm being productive."
But there's still a necessity.
it's just a necessity. I cannot be productive in the things that you really need to be productive in if I don't eat.
Okay,
or
everybody's
I don't
not
sleep.
productive, right? Everybody's not productive.
By what
I agree
definition?
with
No, by
that.
any definition. By your definition, his definition, my definition, his definition. Everybody's not productive. We would all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Right? That
have
everybody
to.
is not productive. The generality of productivity.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Everybody eats dinner. Everybody sleeps. Like, things that everybody does doesn't make you productive. Do you need to do them? Yes. We all breathe. We're
So-
not all productive.
And so then that's when we get to what is free time, because I don't count that time that it took me to get home, that it took me to change and get ready, that it took me to make dinner, that it took me to eat dinner as free time. I don't count this free time. If I am using that time on a necessity,
But you can,
that is not free
But
time.
you can adjust the necessity, meaning like you can decide to order in.
Okay, but then that means I have to work harder at work, because if I'm eating, that means I'm not getting.
What?
Not being able to,
Why you gotta work harder at work? What? What happened here?
if
You're
I'm
spending money.
spending money.
Okay, but it's choices of time, Luis. Meaning you don't have to do the same thing every night. Just because you order in 3 nights does not mean you have to order in 7. It's by making the choices of time.
By your definition, in order to have more free time, I'll spend more time eating out.
Yeah, but not 7 days a week. Meaning you can budget it out, or let's say you cook on Monday for the entire week. Like there's different ways of making choices.
No, absolutely.
And my point is-
I agree with that. I
Yeah,
agree.
but if we say, hey, I have to cook every single night in my girl's apartment.
No, wait. We're away from being with the girls. We're talking about
No,
ourselves.
but that's
right?
what I mean. The conversation started of being the reason we're unproductive a lot of the times is because our girls lead us there. And now, if you're unproductive
don't
on
think
your own,
it's-
that's a bigger conversation to
You
have.
don't think it's the other way around too, though?
That I don't honestly
You
don't care.
You don't believe the streets go
Maybe,
both ways?
maybe, but it's none of my business. That's her business to make sure.
You say guys make girls unproductive?
I'm pretty sure we do, yeah. I'm pretty sure we
It
do.
goes
Then,
both
by
ways.
the definition, relationships make people unproductive.
Absolutely, if you let them. That's my point.
And I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
Like that's my point. You can't let them. Like
You have to have someone that says, "Hey, go do this."
Well, that person should be you.
No, you're not hearing me.
Oh, okay.
Like in the way that I'm saying it, like they
Like-
have to like, what's the word?
Are we talking about external sources?
No. So if my wife tells me, "Oh, go get this job," not that she's telling me, she's like,
Encouraging you.
"Yeah, encouragement."
Yes.
You have to have that person that encourages it.
And that's why you have to pick the right person,
Yeah,
right partner.
Exactly.
that encourages you to do what?
Anything.
And that's my, and that's where I don't think, I'm sorry, but I don't want to lie here. I don't think my girl makes me unproductive at all.
No.
I want to say this. Now, I've never met a girl that said, hey, spend more time being productive than being with me. I'm sorry, I don't think that girl exists.
My wife does it.
She tells you to spend, you say you spend 3 days, today you just explained to that you're going to start spending more time out. Then today you spend 2 days out, the rest of the time you're at home, right? You're with her. So yeah, she's telling you
But
to be.
she's also telling me,
Yeah, because you're out an excessive amount of time right now.
That's a 70%.
"You're not
Yes.
hearing me."
I am definitely hearing you.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Because I have a job now,
Yeah.
so it's not every day. Like, it's not every day that I'm with her. Yes, it's every night. Maybe like 3-4 hours before I go to sleep. But she's already asleep by the time I get home from this.
But to him, that's spending time together.
I get that.
Yeah, and I think that's dangerous because it can become monotonous, and that's where when monotony. What is it? When
Monotony?
huh?
Monotony.
Monotony. It's dangerous for a relationship. It absolutely is, because when you fall into a boring routine with your girl, you can lose her.
Now we're talking about completely different things.
Yeah.
We're talking about monotony. We're talking about unproductivity. We're talking about what are those things? You can be unproductive in this.
You can be unproductive in
and
your
not
own
be
relationship.
monotonous. Yes. So we can't bring in different elements to this argument.
No, but I mean, it's like there's for example, your girl cannot make you unproductive by the examples I chose were like, let's say it's a perfect example. I show up on a Wednesday night and I spend 3 hours on the audio next to her, and then I get up, and I want time for myself, and then she tells me, no, we haven't spent any time together.
I agree with her.
And I'm like, and so what do I have to do now? At that point, even though I was just with her 3 hours,
Because you're not.
because I'm not, by
But
her definition.
there has to be.
not
I agree
actively
with her
spending.
statement, but I also agree with you. Like, we also need our time, right? So there has to be an understanding within the relationship that even though you guys are in the same room, that you guys are spending the time
So if
together.
I'm cooking dinner, I'm not with her. If I'm eating, I'm not with her. Like, so at that point, I only have to be doing engaging activities to be count.
A certain amount of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
no,
that-
I will never accept
But
that.
that's why activities like going to
There is
grocery
no
shopping
such
together
thing
make
as
a
a
difference.
perfect relationship.
Yeah, I will never accept that. I'm sorry.
There
that I
is-
have to be engaging with you for you to think that this is counted as
It's
spending
a
time together?
mentality thing.
I will never accept. Then what the hell are we gonna do when we're married? Then I'll never have any time. Because now if we bring in kids, if we bring in responsibilities where we got to be around each other by necessity, and that doesn't count about being around each other, and now I got to spend more time to please you.
Okay, so let me ask you this: for someone that has kids, right?
Yeah.
Y'all are doing it together. You count that as spending time together?
I would.
It's a necessity.
I think it depends on what the activity is and how you guys do that activity.
So for example, if we're talking about quantity over quality, I think one of the biggest things of a relationship is, like I said, the missing each other part.
Mm-hmm.
If
You said quantity over quality or quality over
Quality over quantity.
quality over quantity.
Okay.
That's what I mean. If you spend 70% of your time around each other,
Mm-hmm. That's quantity.
that's quantity.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's not necessarily quality. And that's where it's like, I think cooking dinner around each other, working around each other, cleaning the house around each other
It's quantity.
is quantity, but it can affect you. It's like it can have a negative effect in the meaning of,
You're not talking to each other.
no, not just that you're not talking to each other, you become used to each other. You become one, which we've always said, and I think most of us agree, that becomes a negative when you become
Absolutely.
one. Right? When
Two individual people who will work better.
exactly.
adding to
When
each
you
other instead
become
of-
one, the only reason you become one is because you pick up a routine that you're like, oh, I do this, this, and this. And if she's around for all that, that's a lot of quantity, very little quality. So if you step away from it on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
being like, okay, every Sunday I'm not gonna spend it with her. Okay? Why? This Sunday I'm gonna go to a game with the boys. This Sunday, and now those 2 hours that we spent, we can say what we say. We're not gonna be repeating. It's not gonna become a rerun. It's not gonna, like I said, become monotonous.
I don't know about you, but nothing I ever say to my wife is repetitive.
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
I think it's human nature
Yeah.
that it does. It's
How was
like,
your day? It was good. That's
Yeah.
repetitive.
That's repetitive. It's like, how was your day? That's repetitive.
I don't always get the same response.
Well, yeah, but there's only about 3 of them. Good, bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Or they don't, or they just.
They're like,
Go
or
in.
unless she ignores you. Like,
Look, you're saying quantity. You're saying quality. In order
Yes.
to have quality,
You can't
let's say 30%. That would mean you wouldn't spend those other 70% of the time together.
What?
You're saying quantity. It's
No,
better
I'm
to
not
have
saying
quantity
flip
over
it either.
quality, right?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying don't spend 70% of time with her. I'm not saying don't spend 70% of the time away from her. That would be excessive.
So how does that make sense?
If you could go 50-50 is a possibility. Like, that's how it makes sense.
No, I agree. I
Like, 50-50 is a possibility. But I'm saying if I take my 42 hours and now
we just see what you see as quantity, we see as quality, right? That what we
no, you don't.
look what we only count quality time with each other as time with each other.
No, but you're making the excuse that you only have 8 hours in the week.
No, look, forget about that.
Yeah,
that's
what it is.
We are only counting the
only
time that we're having
24
quality
hours in a
time and
day.
spending time with each other.
But that's what I'm saying.
But that's not doing anything
But you're
else on
making
your
the
computer.
excuse that you only have 8 hours of actual time to use.
But I'm not saying use all 8 hours
But okay, we're gonna
spending
use
quality
6.
time.
But
I'm,
you
I'm,
only get-
I'm not saying use all 6 or 3 or 2, whatever time you have. I'm not saying use all
30
all
minutes
those numbers.
quality time makes a difference.
No, yeah, it does.
If
But
it's just
what I'm
30
saying
minutes.
is that we're making an excuse when it comes to a point where it's like, oh, if I don't count dinner, I don't count cleaning, I don't count this, I don't count anything. So now my time, my 42 hours or whatever it was, is down to 8 hours. So I still got to spend time with my girl because even though I've been around her, I haven't really spent it. Even though those
But
other
a lot
36,
of women see it that way.
and I could care less what they see. I'm telling you what I see. And those 32 hours that even though I was around her, we're not gonna count it.
You can't.
I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. And then I'm telling you, I'm counting it. And if I'm with 30, now you're going to tell me that I've been 32 hours with you, but they don't count? And now the 8 hours I have, I still got to spend 4 with you?
Exactly.
That don't make sense to me. It's not going to work for me, is what I'm saying. I could care less what they
It's
think.
all a person by person.
And that's where I think we make an excuse of allowing it. And I won't allow it, is what I'm saying. It's like, you're going to tell me I spent 30 hours with you, but you ain't counting them? How does that make sense? And how the hell are we ever going to miss each other? If we say that missing each other is important, but we're always around each other, how is that ever going to happen? Like, that's where I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. And that's where it comes down. That's what we come down to.
But
And
here's the thing.
It becomes a normality for us to say, yeah, we accept
You
that.
as a man,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to be the one to tell whoever, boyfriend, girlfriend, transvestite, any of them, like, hey, I'm going. Like, and you're right to a point, but
I only heard one thing.
to a point.
I didn't hear that last part.
If you're sitting as close as you and Isaiah are,
Yeah.
and you're on your computer, and she's doing something or she's watching her own, that's not quality. It's not time together.
Yeah,
To you, it's not. And it's fine for things not to be.
But-
For you to have different definitions
Yeah.
to what is or what isn't
Yeah,
for certain
yeah.
things. That's perfectly
But
fine.
you have to be able to say, hey, go do whatever the hell you want for a couple hours. You have to be.
and that's so at the end of the day, okay, let's not say spend time with her. Okay, time away from her. So out of those 42 hours, real time, we can only spend 4 hours away from her.
Pretty much.
And you think that's healthy?
Honestly, I stopped listening. I have a different question. Okay, now you spent all the quality time that you wanted to spend with this person, right? This person is the one for you, and you want to spend the quality times that you have doing absolutely nothing with each other, but only with that other person. You get down on one knee, you kidnap them, you kidnap yourself, you.
What are we talking about?
I'm getting to it. You kidnap them, you kidnap yourself, you make them go through a scary situation,
Oh, you're
and then
proposing.
and now you get down on one knee and say, "Baby, I want to marry you." What is the minimum or maximum that you should be spending on this ring?
Oh, yeah.
The minimum is free.
Okay.
And you gotta make up some bullshit story. It was my grandma's or whatever.
Okay. Minimum is free.
My grandma was married to a dude who had 10 women, but it's still special, whatever. Yeah, the minimum is free. The maximum?
What is the next number after free? 1?
So
Like,
if someone
because I
was
don't-
proposing to you, and they
That would
came
never
to
happen.
you, with,
Hey, you don't count.
No,
it
I
out.
told my girl if she proposes to me, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no.
See,
Anyway.
I'm not that misogynist.
yeah, you're being.
I'm not a misogynist. I will take the ring,
So my question
and
is,
then I'll probably run away at the altar.
if they proposed to you with a $5 ring, what would I mean?
I'm trying to make it realistic. The free one is realistic.
Free because it
A
could be an
$1
heirloom.
ring is not realistic.
It could be an heirloom, right?
A who?
An heirloom, a family
Is
heirloom.
this like an Apple ring? What is this?
But there's some people that I've seen people propose with those little fucking rings out of the fucking 25 cent. Like,
No, I'm sorry. No. It has to be. Look, one of the most romantic things in life is effort. Effort,
Agree.
right? Just effort is romantic. Now, for you to buy a 25-cent ring is that you put little to no effort to it. For you to buy a $1 ring, if you get a free ring, you may put effort into it. Now you gotta put some type of effort. After that, what's the maximum? I'm not going above, like, honestly, I was gonna say $5,000. I think that's excessive. Like,
well, in my opinion, I think 1,000 is excessive, but
that may not be excessive, but somewhere in the middle there. It's like, I'm sorry, but these $10,000-$20,000 rings make no sense to me. Well, look, depending on your budget.
And I think that's
If I have millions of dollars, then yeah, you're getting a $20,000-$30,000 ring. You ain't getting a $1 million ring. But now, if I'm making what I'm making, yeah, 10, 15. Like, I'm sorry, no, I went crazy. No, I'm sorry. I just had like a. No, that's not happening. I take that back.
now she's gonna see it.
No, I could care less what she sees. I'm not spending 30 hours with you that I have free time, and I ain't buying you a $10,000 ring. You could, all your little minions could go tell you this. I could care less. I'll put my foot down, and 5,000 max around there. Like, how much did you pay for yours?
It was around 5,000.
You probably still paying for that shit, huh?
No, I paid it off. I had the money.
That happens. Like, you get married, you pay out. You like people say diamonds are forever. Diamonds ain't forever. The payments are. Like,
I've always paid cash for my rings.
You don't see the irony in the statement you just said? You buy rings to get married, and I'm pretty sure when you got married, they asked you, are you willing till death do us part? And then you had to buy 3 of them death to us part. And then it didn't even take death. It took a lot less. It took diamond payment plans.
I've never had payments on a engagement, wedding ring, nothing.
Like, I'm telling you, I think weddings are a scam.
Me too.
Like,
it's one thing we can all agree on. Oh, I don't know how to say this.
Yeah, never been in one, so I don't know.
Go to a Catholic wedding. They're the longest ever.
Yeah.
Like, another statement that's told me, you think it's mean to tell your girl, hey, leave me alone?
No. I tell mine to leave me the fuck alone all the time.
Well, if you say that, then maybe it's mean. But
No,
if
it's
you
not
say
mean.
leave me alone.
That's still not me.
A lot of guys can't do it.
Yeah, there are a lot of men out there that
A lot
are
of guys can't do it.
whipped.
Like, you know what, leave me alone.
They're whipped.
Like,
Or they do everything.
it's abusive.
They do everything that, like, they're at their beck and call.
No, you know, it's men. It's all men's fault. Why? We always say everybody describes the girl they want. Like, I want a strong girl.
What is a strong? Like a physically strong?
No, it's just like mentally
like,
strong.
Like
a
individuality.
strong
kind of
individual,
thing.
somebody who can take care of herself, right? Who can make life for herself. She can live on her own. She's a strong human being. You know, she's independent. All that, and then she gets a flat tire. Like, fuck. Oh shit! Like, the fence fell. Oh my god! What are we gonna do? Like, I gotta pump gas. Like,
Look, and this is where I kind of come to their defense. For those independent women
pump gas.
that a guy like us has come into their life and they have let their walls down and let us into their femininity, or have allowed us to see their femininity, that they put us in the male role, in the masculine role. Because otherwise, without us being in that situation, they would do those things on their own. They would fix the fence. They would fix that tire. But because we're there...
You're being fake then.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, look. And I've always said this.
I'm not getting into this.
It is
I'll
our
give you a real
jobs
example too that happened with me.
as the guy in the relationship to make the female feel comfortable in their femininity. If they don't feel comfortable in the femininity, all you have is 2 people acting masculine, and you can't have that in a
That has
good
nothing to do with
relationship.
asking masculine. It's like not getting in the way.
I
Like-
blame the Me Too
Like, for
movement.
example, I'll never forget. There was a hurricane that happened, and we were living in a house.
We live in Houston a couple
We were
times.
living in a house, and like a freaking beam came through, like hit like the corner of a roof, so you could see through the outside. So when everything went down, she started crying. I can't handle stressful situations.
My sister.
I'm like, okay,
Sorry.
sit over there and shut the hell up. Don't come here and make it worse for me.
I can't handle you.
It's like, okay, first of all, it's bullshit. Yes, you can. It's life. If you can't handle stress in life, you're gonna die. Then you're not so you're lying to me right now. That's what I mean. You're being fake. And that's like we're like 2 years in. We're like 2.5 years in. And that's like the first real fight we had. Cause I got sick of it. I'm like, shut up. Right now you just, and I was like, shut up. Right now you just trying to catch attention that I ain't gonna give to you. Like, okay,
Middle
yeah.
of a hurricane.
Am I wrong though? How am I wrong?
He kicks her out the house.
I didn't do that, but I should. Like, I was like, what the hell are you? Like, I can't handle stressful situations. What do you mean?
What's stressful right
You're
now?
23 damn years old at the time. You can't. This is the first stressful situation you ever been in. And they're like, I can't handle this. And, okay, well, go cry over there then. I'll handle it. Don't come make it worse for me. And that's like, yeah, I hate when and guys pander to it. Like, oh, be comfortable in your femininity. Fuck your femininity. Like, stop crying. We're gonna get this fixed. Like, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you, don't make it worse.
I always see. I'm a different person, so I think of ways differently than other people. And so I tell my wife, I was like, "Don't worry about it. I'll do it. That's it."
But does she cry in front of you? It's what I mean. I have no problem doing it. I never said, hey, you go do it.
Exactly.
Don't come here and act like the damsel in distress and like, oh my God, life is falling apart. I can't handle stressful situations.
My
I'm
mother.
crying. That's fake. That's not true. I bet you if I wasn't
I
here,
can't speak on what your girl did or
but
didn't
you
do.
just said it. You just said it.
Yeah, you
if we
did.
weren't there, they would handle it, right? Okay,
If
I'm not asking
Jesco
you to handle it.
wasn't
I'm not, this is not a situation where every time they're gonna cry and gonna freak out, but it is okay for them to ask for help.
Nobody said don't ask for help.
Okay, so
don't
what-
come
so
here and
she
tell
didn't ask
and
for
make
help.
the stressful.
So what is the situation that they're?
I just told you.
Oh,
what it was.
well, yeah, if they're crying, then yeah, I get it. I understand where you're coming from.
Has she done it
But
since?
No. She learned her lesson. Like, look, if something goes down, I need you to handle it. Yeah, if I'm here, I got it. But what the hell happens if I'm not here? Oh shit, the world fell.
But I think I addressed that when what I said.
Okay.
If we're not there, they'll handle the
handle it.
situation.
Okay, so don't be Hulk and the Little Mermaid at the same time. I'm just saying, it's like I'm not asking you to handle it. Don't come here and act like a damsel in distress. To me, that's not attractive. To me,
Again,
and
I
there's
guess to
guys
each
that
their
love
own.
it. There's guys that love it. They're like, oh yeah, I'm saving my girl.
No, I don't mind being the guy to be there for my girl whenever she needs me. I don't. Call me a simp, call me a whip, call me whatever you want to call me.
neither.
But I don't mind being there for my girl whenever she needs me. And do I know that she can take care of it if I wasn't there? Absolutely. But I have no problem with taking care of it while I am there.
And nobody's saying that.
Yeah,
what I'm
no one
saying,
said that.
nobody said that.
So what are you saying?
I just said that. Like, okay, if I'm gonna handle it, look, go to your room or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
I get it. Don't make the bad situation worse.
Exactly.
I get that.
Yes, and there's a lot of guys like, you know what? My girl can't handle stressful situations.
No.
So I gotta be, man. Shut the fuck up. Yes, she can. She's a human being who dealt fine without you.
No, I agree with that absolutely.
So-
but then that comes down to the type of woman you're with.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what I mean. What I'm not gonna be is with a weak girl. And so you're gonna tell me, I'm not saying, hey, go up there and fix the roof. What I'm saying is, don't come here like, I can't handle this. And
I get that, but I mean,
am I wrong? Am I wrong when I say that there's a lot of guys who their number one go to is like, my girl can't handle the situation, so I have to step in? Like, yes, she can. Your bitch ass is allowing it.
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
all about enabling.
It's enabling. It's like, and I'm telling her, you put your foot down and you tell her, hey, no, hey, pick it up. Like, I'm not don't.
If
don't-
you got-
I'm not saying go up there. I'm
Absolutely.
just
Just
saying-
leave me the hell alone while I'm trying to figure it out.
Exactly. It's like, all right, you can't handle it. Go away.
There's a difference in her wanting to help you figure it out and her not being able to handle it. Like, you know what I mean?
I agree. But there's also correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes I don't want your help. So even if you're trying to help, don't.
Yeah.
No, but tell them that.
Oh
And
yes, I agree.
tell them that.
I agree.
And they're like, no, I can't tell her that because she's trying to help. But you're not. So I have no problem.
She's just fucking standing there.
And that's what I mean. And I'll give credit to my girl. Like, she is a strong woman. Like, I'll tell her, I've told her, like, and I'll give her the most credit because her dumbass friends, I know y'all watch. Her dumbass friends always come and tell me, like, you know you make her go to parties alone all the time. What do you mean?
got it.
What do you mean make her? She could have stayed home.
She made that choice.
What do you mean make her? And like, yeah, she has to walk in there all alone. Like she's going to a war or something. She's going to a party.
Gun fucking
like she's going with guns up blazing. Like, what are you talking about? No, I don't make her do anything. You make your wimp ass boyfriend go with you. That's what you make him do. Like,
just because you're invited to a party, you both don't have to go. Especially if you don't know the motherfucker. Like, if my wife got invited to a party and I didn't know the person, I ain't fucking going.
Now I'll tell you this: I'm a simp when it comes to my niece. I don't know why I can't say no to that little. I don't know why. I can't say
that
no.
makes sense.
No, it don't make any sense.
It's almost like you're a dad.
Isaiah, it makes no sense.
You just have soft spot.
It's a soft spot.
But I'm the thuggest thug I know, and I can't say no to her. You know, I went to Dan Belay recital the other day. It was terrible, by the way. Hey, all those kids.
How did she do?
Huh?
How did she do?
Oh, she just went to go watch a friend.
Oh.
Hey, that's your problem for enabling. That is wrong. that is wrong.
I'm not. See, look, and think about me. I may sound callous at times, but I am very self-aware. So I know when I'm wrong. I am definitely wrong with her all the time. Last Halloween, apparently, Stranger Things. You watch Stranger Things?
Yeah, a little bit.
Apparently, there's a cheerleader zombie or something like that. And if not, she lied to me.
Yeah, I think don't. I don't remember it's a cheerleader or something. Do you?
I think, yeah, like something like that, like a cheerleader or something.
Well, there's no zombies in that show, so just the fact that
Or a
there's...
cheerleader something. I look like a zombie to me.
Okay.
You don't have to pay $100 and some for that damn costume.
You're a thug, though.
But how old is she?
She was 11 at the time.
Oh,
so it was
yeah.
a couple years ago. I'm a simp when it comes to her. I'm like you, but with a little girl. Like I'm like, yeah, I can't say no to her for some reason, man.
Well, imagine if you had a daughter, right?
No, I don't want to.
Exactly.
It's crazy, man. And now we're planning a 15.
She's turning 15 already?
Well, in a year and a half.
Quinceañera.
And they charge for everything.
You don't think?
They're charging me for a DJ. I'm like, I'll DJ myself.
I was gonna say you should be
Yeah,
your
I'll
go-to
DJ.
person
She's
for
like,
DJ.
No, but you have to dance with her. I'm like, she can't dance. I've seen her dance. But I can't say this to her. And the problem is, like, when I'm talking with my girl, my mom, and my niece, and I'm talking, I could be a man with them. I'm like, no. And then her little punk ass comes in. I'm like, all right.
but Uncle Chesco.
She don't even call me uncle. She just calls me Chesco. No respect.
No, Tío.
That's in Spanish.
Tío.
But like, it's normally just Chesco. No respect, by the way.
It's funny.
Like, I don't know what to do, man. I'm trying to go to therapy for it, and then I realize therapy's a scam, so I don't do it.
Speaking of therapy, I have one at 11 in the morning.
Oh.
What are you talking about in therapy? Can we?
I can't.
No, do it because I can help.
Divulge.
Huh? No, but I'll be your therapist.
Doctor-patient confidentiality.
No,
Yeah.
I really can't divulge.
Okay, well then do like a side, not what you're actually talking about, like something that you haven't talked about yet. Talk about it with me.
I don't know if that's a good idea because
I'm better than any freaking therapist.
I will tell you this. I avoid a lot of things.
Mhm.
Avoidance, number one. Two.
That's good though.
See, this is the type of advice that he's gonna give you. You're doing just fine, man.
Well, no, avoidance is great.
Avoidance.
Okay.
Okay, I have survivor's guilt.
Okay, don't have that.
This is actually a bad part of the year for me.
A bad
So,
part?
yeah.
Why?
It's going into September. I knew someone 9/11. October, my birthday.
Well, if it makes you feel any better.
No.
Oh, I'm trying to save your life. You
See,
don't
look, like what, a therapist that doesn't listen.
I listened.
In October,
He knew somebody on 9/11.
my birthday,
October is his birthday.
and my
The whole
best
month.
friend died on my birthday.
His best friend died on
In
his
my
birthday.
arms.
In his arms. I know a great song for that. This is beautiful. This is beautiful music. Oh, and I challenge somebody to a country on.
Country off?
Yeah.
What does that entail?
This is wrong. You're exploiting his traumas for views. That's not okay. I'll send that for you, man. I got you.
It's a necessary evil because we gotta get the subscribers up. Okay.
Let's get to 1,000.
Yeah, we gotta get the subscribers up.
How many we got?
Hey,
542.
and not only that,
We're 58 away.
I'm gonna talk to
No,
this.
from 542.
Oh,
I'm gonna talk to
558 away.
who was this guy?
458 away.
458.
This guy had the nerve to call me out. I don't know what's wrong with him. Some guy said, "Give me Manuel Ramirez said, give me Johnny Cash any day."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're still on that? That I just watched that show earlier.
Yeah, it was that one.
Trash. We're,
It's probably one of the longest episodes we've done.
Yeah, for sure.
it doesn't matter, man. I gotta get to this dude to calling me out. Look at this ridiculous comment he put. He was like, dude, don't even listen to country. Look at the highest rated country songs. They are racist songs by David Allen, Cole Hank Williams Jr. Not saying this right, just saying you don't know what you're talking about. He's talking to me.
Shit.
Was he a black guy or what?
I'm pretty sure he was white. And then dumbass Luis says, Chesco identifies himself as a thug. Do you really think he is the leading expert on country music? Because believe it or not, he is. Actually, good job.
See? I was waiting for everything.
I didn't read the whole comment.
I didn't see that.
And then I respond to him. His name is Lawrence Edwards.
Where are you at?
Sounds black.
Where are you from, Lawrence?
I challenge you. This is my response. I challenge you to a country off anytime, anywhere, punk, with a cowboy hat emoji. And for the record, I'd rather you say racism is fine than to ever say I don't know what I'm talking about. Trump 2030, long live Shabuzi.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there we go. And
Fuck Shabuzi.
sorry, Lawrence, I probably shouldn't have called you a punk, but I was heated at the time. All right, so
It is Houston, so.
yeah, I was heated at the time. I'm sorry. I probably came off
A
too
little aggressive.
Yeah, it's just the thug in me. I'm sorry. I take it back, but I do country off anytime. And Johnny Cash, I'm gonna say this: Johnny Cash is not top 10 country singers of all time.
No, I didn't say he was.
I'm just saying some people
Still
may think that's a
considered
hot take. It's
country.
not.
No, I don't think so.
It's
Do you
not.
think that's like when Garth Brooks came into the country, he wasn't considered country?
Like Taylor Swift, top 5.
Mm.
And this goes to who was the guy I just said? Hey, look, we're getting a lot more comments. Appreciate it. Last thing before we leave, you know that Oscar De La Hoya went crazy.
He went crazy?
He
What
went
thought he-
crazy?
I thought it was like a little bit of Shannon Sharp when he was on Shannon Sharp.
What happened?
No, he was singing. He was dancing in a thong.
Yeah, that's, what, and
But
they
that's
went-
old news.
And he was
No, he did it again.
He did it
What?
again?
he had told Shannon Sharp, it's like, not every guy's gonna come and say, but we've all worn something like of a woman.
He said, if I get everybody in this room, at least one of them is going to have worn something.
Yeah, and then Shannon Sharp was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah. You think it's CTE or is he on drugs?
Both.
Like,
A little bit of both.
you think people with CTE
Where do you think Ryan Garcia gets it from?
from Oscar?
Probably so.
Are they related?
No, like that's his promoter.
Oh. But Ryan Garcia shouldn't have CTE yet, right?
Nah, I think he's just on a lot of drugs.
He's probably on a lot of drugs. I don't know, man, but Oscar De La Hoya was a GOAT. He was an absolute GOAT.
How old is he now?
73, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, that's 50s.
I don't like how they just misinterpret my authority. I was trying to save relationships earlier. They didn't let me. I gave you
51.
a therapy session.
How much?
51.
50.
I was close.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were, buddy.
Yeah. I gave you a therapy session. Tell me you don't feel better. Yeah, thank you. Me and Isaiah's going to Colombia. And Luis, I try to save his marriage. If he doesn't let me, I don't know what to do.
Save my marriage. I'm divorced.
Damn.
If you would have met me 3 months earlier?
No. I was checked out.
Huh?
I was checked out.
No, I'm not saying stay. I would never say stay in the marriage.
Okay.
We would have came out with assets. Tell me I'm not right. We would have came out with assets. We would have been.
Maybe.
Yeah, we would have came out with assets. If you would have met me 3 months earlier. And I'm telling you, you need Chesco in your life. That's why I'm telling you. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. What do we have planned? What do we got?
The spear
We
card.
got we got the sphere card. When do we got to preview that? Next week?
next
Nah,
no,
I think,
week
no,
after.
I think the week after.
Week after.
We got anything in between that we got to preview?
Actually, no, we might have to do it next week. I don't know.
We might have to do it next week. We're not sure yet. What else? We have anything before that?
Nope.
No boxing matches, nothing like that. Okay, so sphere cards next. We got some what is it? It's called Sporkle videos.
You're the one that found it.
I think it's
Why
called
you asking
Sporkle.
me?
We got some videos coming out in Suplex Society, which I make a cameo on. So this is definitely worth watching this week. When is that one coming out?
Tomorrow.
No, not that one. I'm gonna keep that one for one of our fillers.
So how are we supposed to promote it? You got a superstar on it. Remember the Starbucks store?
Was that? I thought that wasn't this one.
I think that was on
Yeah,
this
it
one.
was on this
No,
one.
but the Starbucks store means I'm a superstar.
Oh,
Ouch.
gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I don't know how we're gonna promote it. You got to do like a whole like UFC like the return or whatever.
Like a little.
Yeah, and the Red Combat. We got a few videos coming out for that as well. David and I shot a draft.
A draft?
Oh, we did a draft. You're gonna see it.
Oh, okay. An actual like a draft picks.
I hope it comes out. The host did a terrible job, cause you were sick, acting like a little bitch. We thought you died. We called you in the middle of it. What happened?
I took NyQuil and I knocked out.
Cause we figured out what was wrong.
I had
with
like
you.
3 missed calls the next day.
Yeah, and we kept calling, and I almost got mad. You know how like when they don't answer the number shows.
Yeah.
I was gonna let it play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like I was like, all right, I was a little heated, so I didn't let it play. But all right, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.
Peace.